Hey everybody, welcome to Two Comic Book Dudes. Today we're doing a Kickstarter spotlight, or kind of a pre-Kickstarter spotlight here for Ezarieth World Heroes, right, is the title of the project. And we're talking with Rod Rodolfo and T.A. Ewart. Rod's in Sao Paulo, and T.A. Ewart is up in Brooklyn, New York. So welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi.
And I'm Aaron Clutter, Editor-in-Chief of Comic Booked.
Hey everybody, Justin, Managing Editor of Comic Booked.
So today we wanted to take some time and talk with you guys about Ezarieth and kind of the premise behind it. What's the story about? Some beautiful artwork here. Really liked it from what I've seen so far. I'm very excited to see the Kickstarter and how that project goes. And we definitely want to help you guys get some recognition of it before and during the project. So Rod, do you want to start off and just talk about the world of Ezarieth?
Yeah, sure. First of all, Aaron and Justin, thanks very much for having us here.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
We started this project, for me, it was about 8 years ago. I saw an advertisement on the digital wedding. Where, yes, you know that.
Yes.
Where T.A. Ewart was looking for an artist. He's the writer for the project. And I had to make a test page. And after a few days, we started to create the characters. Ewart, do you want to say something about the story? How?
I'm very widely read, and I remember just really loving the Marvel Universe and the DC Universe growing up. A lot of independent books were nice, but I really liked the fact that they created these worlds that had, their own mythology to it, and you could be well-versed in a part of that mythology, and it just kept growing. I've always wanted to do comics, and I had always wanted to do the same thing, create, your own world, your own universe, and be able to expand on it. And I had read something, I don't know if a lot of people are familiar with it, it's the Wald Newton universe or world, where all of these characters like Doc Savage, Tarzan, Sherlock Holmes were all pretty much, they came out of a singular event. There was this meteor that landed. At least that's what the story was that linked all of these Victorian heroes. And I thought about creating something where it would be through ages on this particular world, where the heroes, they all come from the same progenitor, and they would all live through the different periods, the fantasy era, the time of pirates, the time of monster slayers, that sort of thing, all the way up into, superheroes. And then what's really current right now, I think, are just, regular guys who are in denim, but they're still running around acting like superheroes. So that was the idea I had. And I was reaching out, and I was very lucky to find Rod, who is an excellent artist, and we've been working at this for a long time. So we've both been able to see how much we've grown and improved in terms of myself as a writer, and definitely himself as an artist. So we've gotten to see just how much quality we've been able to put into it. It's been a very long time, but it's all been for the best if you look at the production of the work that we have ready to display for people.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll show a little bit of that art here in a few minutes. I'll just go through some of the pages. They really are amazing. So definitely looking forward to reading the story that goes along with it.
Yeah, it's a very funny story. Ewart writes very great stories. When we started, I was a little bit into samurai. So I liked those honor codes they had, and I wanted to create a code of honor for myself. So I call it the 3Ds. It's determination, discipline, and dignity. I think that this is something helped me a lot to improve the story. And we always talk, me and Ewart, about why do we read comics. And we read comics because of the symbols, what the symbols represent. The truth, the justice, honor, and all those stuff. It's not the heroes themselves, but what they represent, what they mean to us.
That's true.
There are other aspects of my life that I wanted to improve as well, like body, mind, and soul. And every day it's a big challenge to improve yourself in these aspects of life.
True.
And yeah, when we started talking about the Kickstarter project, we wanted to create something new, something with value, a very positive and strong message, a very positive and strong philosophy of life. And that's when we realized that we wanted to create something with that could inspire people, in some way could educate people and entertain people. So that's when we started to create the comic book for entertainment, tutorials to try to help people, to try to explain a little bit about our experience on the comics, and a remembering card game. I have made some prints of the cards here. They are in black and white, but this would be a card game with characters. These characters, they all represent something that we think it's important in our life. For example, America represents compassion. And it says here, recognize yourself on others. There's a way that you can bring compassion to your life. When you recognize that everybody has pain, everybody suffers, everybody has limitations, frustrations. And when you recognize this on someone else, I think it opens space on yourself to feel compassion for someone else.
True.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, I think this. I would like to use this not only as a game, but as an amulet, something that I could use in my wallet, and every time I see it, I remember this, and it keeps me on track to do the right thing.
That's good. Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to helping people, doing something for someone else, right?
Right.
And hopefully, this idea could help someone. The other card I really like is the gratitude card, because it always remembers me to be thankful for what I have.
Yeah,
But
that's something we all have to be. Go ahead.
Yeah, but offline, everything we are doing helped me to become happier, to become a better person, and I think that this is the intention of this project, to help someone else. Well, hopefully we can help someone.
Yeah, that's very interesting to say. That your big focus for the project was to create a message or a way to influence people to be more positive, to be more thankful, to be more compassionate. That's very interesting. It's something definitely different in the marketplace that sets you apart. So that's good.
I've not heard anyone else create come from that point to create a project or lead a project in that way. So I think that's amazing.
I've always thought that was the focus of comic books, at least superhero comics when I was reading as a kid. I mean, I think we look at them as very simplistic. And, a lot of people want to give them a hard time. Oh, they're black and white, and there's all of this gray. And I usually challenge that. I don't think life really has a lot of gray. I think there is a lot of time we would like to foist it on ourselves. But most of the decisions we make are usually right or wrong for us. And if we went back to those early comics, I don't think they, educated us so much or guided us morally. But at the very least, we were able to go into those adventures, and we empathized so strongly with those characters, worrying about the decisions they were making, trusting whatever decisions they would make would, be the best things, not necessarily for the character, but for the people around them. And it's the same type of thing we would like people to get from the comics now, to be able to have that sort of investment and to be able to look upon them as, a choice that, you made. And it wasn't just a dollar choice for some entertainment, but some things that you can actually think upon later. And, who knows, maybe in some juncture, not saying that the comic is going to be a guide, but in some juncture, it just gets you thinking about things differently and maybe the choices that you make. And to really try to focus on as much of the positive aspects of entertainment, of creation, the things that we're putting forward.
And that's good. Okay. Well, do we want to take a look at some of the art, and we'll go through the pages that I put together here?
Yes.
All right. So I like this this background. I used it for my background. I like that, and I pulled some of these directly off your blog, and we'll have a link to the blog in the description for this video, as well as in the article that the video will be set in. So folks will be able to easily get to that. And so you were talking about the heroes down through the different ages, and so is that what's represented here at the bottom of this, below the eyes, are each of the characters throughout the different ages?
No.
Yes,
These
that's correct.
These characters are from Ezarieth, the Riders of Ruin.
I'm
Okay,
sorry,
gotcha.
because I'm audio only, so I couldn't see the image.
Oh, sorry about
by
that.
your description.
Okay, so these are the writers. You want to tell us about those characters?
Yeah, we have the main characters here, the Drakkar and Canter too, and these other guys are in a second place. They fight together, but they are not as important as Drakkar and Canter too.
Okay.
And this girl is actually a dragon.
Oh, cool. That's very neat.
That's crazy.
The idea of this storyline, Raiders from Ruin, it's actually the first time period of Ezarieth, and it's fantasy. It's like Dungeons and Dragons, where they're off and they start off as adventurers, but they actually become crucial in keeping the world together, establishing a balance, and making certain that their world doesn't end through certain actions that happen. And if you're familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, it's a lot of fun. If you're not, and you've seen films like Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, then you're familiar with dragons and some of the magic type of things that would happen in this particular story. But it's set in the first age of Ezarieth, and it's pretty much that fantasy age that a lot of us are familiar with.
Okay.
Very cool.
All right. So I think maybe I got some of these out of order then, because I know I do have another picture of an interior art with the dragon, and it looks really cool. But you want to tell us about this one?
This one is the cover for America.
Okay.
America has a lot of art of heroes working with her. It's like a Justice League or the Avengers.
Okay.
So here she is in the front, and the other guys are all around her. And they come from everywhere in the world.
Cool.
They are from Japan, from Mexico, from Brazil, from Argentina, from Ethiopia, from everywhere.
So it's like
Okay.
a true global group represented.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. And all the heroes are named after the particular country that they come from. The premise of the story, when I was thinking about it, is, well, you have the United States of America as this, it's pretty much the world power. There are other countries that could definitely contend with the States in terms of, battle, but economically and in terms of battle, there's just really no other country out there that's actually going to do it. I'll probably, somebody may contend with me on it, but I think it's a fair assessment. And
Yeah.
the idea was, well, what happens if this country is, goes off the rails or is perceived to have gone off the rails? And all the characters are pretty much symbolic of the nations that we have right here. So if you have the most powerful country go off the rails, how does everybody else react? And if the perception is incorrect, well, what does that country do to try to right the situation? And, a lot of it comes with Rod was talking about, where, every little action matters, especially if you're the States. We do something and everybody reacts to it. And if we don't do anything, everybody reacts to it. So it's very hard to, it's very hard because, we're forced into a black and white situation in this wonderful world of gray. There's no gray for us. It's either we did the right thing or we didn't. And I really want to try to focus on that within the issue as, you're always, I don't believe any country is out there trying to do things poorly. You're always trying to do things as best as you can, and to try to put that in sort of comic book form, and not to shy away from any of the topics either. I think, bigger heroes like a Batman or a Superman, they can't take sides in a global situation or in a current event situation. But, we're smaller and we're just starting. So, to try to really, go with those particular aspects where they're inspired from.
It's very cool. So each book will be based on a different age of Ezarieth. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, cool. Okay, so this was a beautiful cover. I wanted to highlight this one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Thank you, guys. This is the cover for Riders of Ruin.
And that's the first book?
No, actually, the first book, the book we are going on the campaign now, is the America book.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And I believe this one is going to for the next Kickstarter project.
Okay.
I can't see it, but I know the cover. That's an excellent cover.
Sorry, I should have sent you the slide deck ahead of time. You could have at least had it to look at.
We've been working on this for 8 years. I'm familiar with just about all of the art with a little bit of description.
That's good to hear. Yeah. All right. So this
it's a top cover. That's a top cover.
Yeah, definitely beautiful art, and the colors and everything very, very good. The next slide that we have is an interior art scene, and it has the I'm not sure who the character is coming up out of the water on like a flying horse.
Yeah, it's Pegasus and Perseo.
Oh, okay.
And what's the name of that monster?
The Kraken?
The Kraken.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's from the age the first that'll be from the Age of Heroes, and that's for the book we have entitled Alcides, which is premised on the fact that I feel that regardless of what universe you're going in, you have a Hercules type character. You have this first guy who's the first hero who pretty much, takes care of a lot of the monsters, takes care of a lot of the bad guys, and sets the standard. And this would be the first, the first really big hero for the Ezarieth line. And a lot of it's taken from the Greek myths, but with the idea that the same way that Marvel will tell their story with Hercules different than, say, DC, we're going to tell our own story with Hercules. We're actually going to use his given name, his birth name of Alcides, to try to distance ourselves a little bit from it. But we're going to also try to set it down. And one of the things I did want to do with this is try to get back to the to really try to get back to the core of that character. He's a really rich character that's been delineated to either just being a strongman or in some books he's a rapist. And all the heroism has just been really sucked out of the character, and I really wanted to try to put that back in there. So, I mean, Rod does some really nice, I mean, I love everything he does. But then some things are above and beyond that, and I think really here he does some really lush illustration to get the ball rolling for this particular story.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the detail on this. That was one of the things that drew me to this page was just the water dripping off and the waves in the background. Everything was just amazing. Really, really beautiful. And the last slide, I have two pages here. Both look like they're from America, and that you said that's the first book. So one scene with America flying up in the air above Earth, and then the other with the group sitting around a table. Looks like they're in like conference or something, talking to each other. So.
Yes. I believe these colored pages are from America issue 2.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The second issue. I still didn't start coloring the first book.
Oh, okay.
We are going to
So we're not.
some time for that.
Yeah, we've worked over the. I don't want anyone to think we've been slacking since it's been 8 years, but we've turned out. There are 7 different ages, and we have multiple issues completed. There's certain issues that have been totally drawn, totally scripted, and colored. Others have been totally lettered, and so on and so forth.
Wow.
So, it's just that life happens. Rod got some really good opportunities, and he went to draw with Dynamite for a bit of time.
Wow.
I think he might still be with Dynamite. I'm not certain, so I don't want to speak too quickly. We don't talk much about the Dynamite stuff. And for myself, I had children, 2 children, and of course that slowed things down a little bit. But a lot of the artwork that you see here is from completed books, not just promo pages, but full stories that have actually been done. They're just either need to be colored or lettered, and they're ready to go. We just need help getting them out there. Hence, here we are.
I knew that Rod. I knew your name sounded familiar, and you had done work on the Swords of Sorrow series, right?
Yes.
And I love that series. That was excellent. So, yeah.
Yes, I've heard that Gail Simone has done an excellent job there.
Yeah,
Right?
that was very good.
Yes. I enjoyed very much working with Emma Baby. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but I thought her story was very good, very nice, very interesting.
Awesome.
And I enjoyed it very much.
Cool. Well, I'll say from what we've seen so far and what I've read about this story, I'm excited to see it come to fruition. And yeah, I mean, I'll definitely be on that Kickstarter supporting as soon as it's ready. So
thank you.
yeah, but yeah, we'll definitely we'd like to see full issues and do some reviews for you when they come out. So, but yeah, it's not often like a lot of the Kickstarters we talk with. They're like, oh, we're working on the first issue now, and we get the Kickstarter. It's successful for the first issue, then you'll see the first issue, and then 6 months later you'll see issue 2, and 6 months later you'll see issue 3. So it's refreshing to hear that you guys have pretty much the whole world ready to go. If this project's successful, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done, but I'm positive that if we get this project right, there will be this year a few other projects on Kickstarters about this universe, and I want to go back to New York Comic Con this year.
Oh, awesome!
Hopefully.
Okay, I'd love to go. I don't know if I will make it or not, but
yeah. Oh, really? I go every year.
Yeah, it's probably right next door, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a 6-hour drive for me, and on top of the hotels and the cost to get in. So it's been I haven't had the chance to do that yet. So sometime I definitely will. All right, Justin, did you have any questions? Anything else that you wanted to ask?
I'm kind of blown away with the size of the world. So I just think that's, I understand that like y'all said, y'all been working on this for 8 years, but in that time, it seems like you've just made a massive, expansive world. And I just think that's really refreshing. A lot of times, we've talked to people and it's just like one character they're pushing, or they haven't fully developed the world that they want to tell yet. And here you have such a rich, history to just start with. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So is there anything else you guys want to talk about while we've got the opportunity here?
I just wanted to tail end on that one. I mean, when I met Rod, I was telling him the idea was to create this world. I wanted to do like Stanley and Jack Kirby's run on the Fantastic Four, that first 100 issues where just about everything was possible. And if you look at it, the majority of the Marvel Universe seems to come out of those 100 issues. You have just about all these major characters. Almost every issue was important to what was happening. There was all these things that went on. And I'm not certain how much he believed me at first, but after 8 years, I'm certain I sold him that we created this really big thing. The whole idea was to give something that everybody could get into and to really give a long-lasting reading experience, and not just one and out, not just, well, hey, we're only going to do, zombie type stuff or superhero type stuff. We're going to do something that is going to, be across the spectrum when it comes to comics, which I think comics should be. I don't think you should have to choose over a superhero comic and a fantasy comic. You should be able to really get some stuff and be able to enjoy it all. And that's what we're really trying to put forward, but also with the idea that, Rod is pushing, that we really want to put something forward that is not just entertainment, but, something you can revisit and not just for nostalgia, but say, no, this was something that really influenced how I thought. And I see things just a little bit differently now, and look back on it as something positive and maybe share it with someone else, maybe share it with a kid or share it with a friend that, this was good, for those type of reasons, the same way you would share a good novel.
Right.
Sounds good. Yeah. Okay. Rod, did you want to say anything else?
I think the most important thing is the message. We wanted to make it a very positive message. Every little action matters, and if we all start to be more careful about these kind of things, about what we think, because what we think makes the difference. What we do makes even more difference, and what we say also makes difference. We didn't mention yet the Dr. Emoto's work, but on the campaign there will be links for his videos on the YouTube, and you can watch the Dr. Emoto's experiments. Okay. And it's simply amazing. Simply amazing. He makes an experiment with rice, and he gets 3 glasses of rice, and for 1 month he speaks with the rice. He's showing tensions for 1 glass that he says to the glass, "I want to kill you. I hate you." To the other glass, he says, "I love you. You are beautiful." And he ignores the 3rd glass. And what happens to the rice is amazing. It's amazing. It has a very impact on the rice. The material of the rice changes.
Wow.
And I think that's really amazing.
Wow.
That is. That's pretty cool. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys taking the time to talk with us today about Ezarieth and this upcoming Kickstarter project. T.A. Ewart in Brooklyn, we appreciate your time, and Rod Rodolfo in Sao Paulo, we appreciate you taking time to talk to us and show us this beautiful artwork. Really looking forward to seeing the books and getting some reviews out there for you. And we'll send you a copy of this video when we're done with it as well. So, okay, and we'll have some links. How can people catch up with you guys on social media? You have a Facebook page for Ezarieth, or do you have a Twitter account or anything like that?
Yes, we have the Facebook on Facebook, and we have most of things that I think that are on the blog, on my blog.
Okay.
Okay.
Most of the information is there.
Okay.
So do I say the link now?
Oh, it's fine. We'll have a link down at the bottom. I'll get that from you when we're done, and we'll make sure that's all in the description so that anybody reading through that information can link right to it.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot, guys. We really appreciate it. And for all of you folks out there who are watching, please like, share, subscribe. Definitely check out the descriptions. Also watch for the article that this video will be nested in with a little more information on the project. And then you can check out the blog with all of the art and a really neat video as well, video introduction to Ezarieth. And look forward to the Kickstarter project kicking off on February the 10th.
Thank you very much, guys. We really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thanks.
All right. And thanks, everybody, for watching.
All right.